Today, we're going to take a look at James Lamb watches, specifically the Origin Series Azur, which was a limited edition that was released in 12 pieces on January 10th, 2023. Now, if you're unfamiliar, James is a one-man shop based out of the United Kingdom who is now getting well known for his incredible handmade casework. I'm going to take a look at that and show you some of what makes this watch so unique among the other highly distinct elements. Now, Collective Shop is an authorized dealer of James Lamb watches here in the United States, so while this isn't an objective review, I hope it'll give you some idea of why we took him on and why we believe in his watches so much. James Lamb has over 20 years of experience in watchmaking, silversmithing, and precision engineering. And while the Origin series is James' first formal watch release, it's absolutely not his first foray into watchmaking. So what you're looking at here is really the culmination of decades worth of work coming together in a first and very strong release from James Lamb watches. Now, a signature element of the Origin series, and I think what tends to attract people in general, is the case material and its construction. This watch is made out of 935 Argentium silver. And Argentium silver is going to be very appealing, I think, for a lot of collectors in that, while of course it's silver and it will oxidize, it won't tarnish in the same way that more traditional sterling silver, 925 sterling silver, would. So important to note that this is a cut above, if you will, of what we would generally consider the behavior of standard silver to be. Now, the watch itself is completely handmade case-wise. And what I mean by that is that the only tools that James used to make this case were hand tools, a lathe, and fire. That's it. So that's incredibly unusual in the world of watchmaking. And if you spend any time talking to watchmakers, you'll know that case making is a highly idiosyncratic skill. So the fact that James has truly mastered this is a remarkable feat. Now, as we take a look at the watch, the first thing you're probably going to notice is the striking dial. Now, the dial itself is actually one of the few elements on this watch that James did not make. What you're looking at is a laser-etched silver blank, which is three-dimensional. So those geometric shapes that you're looking at are truly, actually three-dimensional. And they're covered in a layer of incredible, beautiful enamel. And that vitreous enamel adds that lovely blue color, and it also helps refract the light against that silver engraved dial. So as you move this around in the sunlight or at home, it will take on the effect of the light around it. It's really quite a dramatic effect. Now, the ceramic dial, on which you can read the time on this watch, is pad printed and has blued steel hands against it, which creates a really lovely contrast against the vitreous enamel of the main dial. Now, back to what James has made on this watch. In addition to the case itself, James made the sterling silver dial blanks, the winding crown, the pendant tube, the sterling silver dial feet, the ceramic subdial, and, in fact, the decorated movement holder of the Origin series. Now, this watch is powered by a Sellita SW210 movement, but that movement is seated within a decorated movement holder that James made explicitly for this watch. So even the interior of this watch has been decorated and handcrafted to house the movement, which I should add is highly serviceable in this watch. Now, this watch is 39 millimeters in diameter, putting it at what I would often refer to as the Goldilocks zone for watches. Most people can wear a 39 millimeter watch and have it look proportionally quite good. I have a just shy of 7-inch wrist. You can get an idea of the dimensions against my wrist here. The watch is just shy of 10 millimeters at 9.75 millimeters in height, with a lug-to-lug of 48 millimeters. Now, one fun feature about this watch is that while it accepts 18 millimeter strap widths, James drilled holes for both curved or straight spring bars. So you have a lot of flexibility in how this watch can be worn. Now, let's take a look at the case profile here, and you can really get a handle on some of the incredible detail that James has put in his handwork. You can even take a look at the crown, which he made himself. And flipping over, we can take a look at the case back. Now, the case back is laser engraved and hallmarked. So that means that the entire watch is made from 935 Argentium silver. You may note, by the way, that the hallmark for silver here is 925. That's because the London Assay Office doesn't officially recognize Argentium at 935, so this hallmark is the one that they chose to apply. You'll also note that this watch is engraved with 1 of 12. That's because this particular line of the Origin series, the Azur, represents 12 pieces out of the 50 in total origin pieces that James is going to make in this series. These watches come with a 3-year manufacturer warranty, and of course, as an authorized retailer, we are able to manage any challenges that may arise during the ownership of this watch. Jamesland Origin Series watches are available through Collective Shop, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have.